Burt's vlog. I want to put that window up, but I don't want it to be too warm. Okay. I don't want the noise from outside. Alright, so yeah, this is my vlog. I'm gonna try and do this every so often. I thought about doing this for a little bit. Doing Soft Jubes means to do it, and this probably be a lot more of a almost a news type thing for Soft Jubes. I'll probably discuss upcoming projects, what we've got going, stuff like that. Take a drink. Hang on. Oh fuck. So yeah, I'll just discuss things. Go through stuff. Probably go through shit that pisses me off, stuff like that. Whatever. This will go up every so often, maybe weekly, maybe more than that. I don't know yet. Depends. It'll probably be a bit sporadic whenever I have time, really. I could do one driving to work. There's a lot of free time driving. But that probably won't work given how dark it is. So yeah, that probably wouldn't work. What I might try, something I'm going to point out now, I noticed how much I was saying then. I'm really trying to cut back on how much I do that. It is really annoying, even for me. Like, I edit things and I just hear it again and again, and it's really freaking annoying. So I'm going to try and use this as a way to also stop myself doing that. To not use it too often, if at all. Fuck, I did it. Alright, this is going to be hard. But, okay, so basically, yeah, bit of a note now, I am an idiot. I've just done two 2 a.m. starts, but I finished at 12 each day, so that's not too bad. I am going to see Deadpool tonight with Chris and his fiancée Haley. I had this plan for a little while, and then they asked if we want to do it at 2 a.m. in the morning. So I'm going, it's currently 5:20. I'm going to Charles. Oh shit, really? Fuck. Alright, 5:15. Alright, it's a little later than I was hoping. I should be alright though. Headed to Charlestown, where I'm going to meet with them. We're going to have Nando's, then go see the movie. Should be alright. Hopefully it's good. I've waited 10 movies. Waited 10 years for this freaking movie. 10 movies for this year. Fuck. So, gonna do that, but yeah, I got asked to do it 2 a.m. in the morning, and I said yes because I want to help out the team leader and whatnot. And this part of the problem with having a regular job as well as Soft Jubes, and Soft Jubes turns into a thing that could be a job, that would be awesome, because then I wouldn't have to do this crap. But yeah, I just want to help out my team leader, so I figured screw it, I'll do it. Which means I got home, had something to like nibble on, so I got like 3 hours sleep, and then I'm hoping after the movie, when I get home tonight, I'll be able to get another couple of hours. Maybe. We'll see. Hopefully. So, basically, yeah, that's just a little thing. We'll go see the movie. Hopefully it's good. I might do something on the way home. It's a bit dark, which is part of the reason I can't really do this in the morning, which I was talking about before. It's because it's a bit dark. My camera's not very good at picking up things, so there's not much point in doing a video at that point. I don't know, I might try it out, see how it looks. Might still be, I mean, really, who wants to look at my mug anyway? So, it might not be too bad. Might try it. But, what was I going to say? So basically, yeah, this is my vlog, whatever. Anywho, I should get going on it. I'm going to try and keep these pretty short. The camera can only record 20 minutes at a time, and anyway, but I doubt I'm going to do 20-minute blocks. Fuck, I keep doing it. So, we'll see how it goes. But anyway, so I'll start. First, I'm going to start with a bit of a complaint. Not complaint, frustration, really. With Apple. And not just Apple. Even I've always had mixed feelings on the company. I've not agreed with a lot of their kind of marketing tactics, and the way they kind of build themselves up has never quite appealed to me. I've never owned, the only Apple products I owned an old Apple Mac laptop, which I actually quite liked. I hate these traffic lights. I didn't mind. I think it wasn't great, but it was where I did a lot of my early editing. I had Sony Vegas on it, so that was cool. And like, I can get Sony Vegas on the Microsoft regular thing, but having it on a laptop was really fun and good to edit. I could do it on the fly. I also had like Photoshop and GarageBand and stuff on there. So it was kind of my editing thing, even if it wasn't always the best for memory. It still did the job, and that was the main thing. But that died. Looks like it was a CPU problem, and so it's gone. I also owned a iPod Shuffle years back when they were like that big. Like the first ones, that was a long kind of just blank thing, and all you had was the dial with like play, pause, shuffle on either side, and then I think it was like, oh, what were the other two buttons? Like stop, obviously, and there was another button. There was like 4 buttons around the outside of the play, stop, play, pause. So we had those, and I had one of them, and that's pretty much all. And then like items like iTunes, stuff like that. No, I've never been a fan of iTunes. Part of the reason I didn't like my iPod Shuffle is I didn't like it relying on iTunes. I didn't mind iTunes in the beginning, but iTunes was good at the start, and then they kept doing updates, and I just find it so frustrating now. It's like part of my problem, goddamn, my gears get grind all the time. Part of my problem with Apple is everything must be integrated, and I understand why they want to do that. I understand why they want all of their own things talking to their own things. It makes sense. It really, really makes sense. That it gives them control. It allows this, and it's part of like how they built their brand. They're kind of on their own. They're the cool guys, so it makes sense to do all these things. It just gets really frustrating when something screws up in that system. Like Microsoft, like whatever program you're using, something screws up, you can usually find a way around it that doesn't rely on the same programs. Goddamn traffic lights! This is gonna be annoying. I'm probably gonna be late. I'm always fucking late to these things. I can't see the movie without me anyway. Fuck, I keep doing it. So, I get why they do it. But yeah, when the system breaks, it's really, really frustrating. And like, part of the problem with iTunes is something breaks at iTunes, it stops you plug your iPod in or whatever, and it screws that up as well. Like, you can't friggin' make that work, and you can only sign in on something, and like, it's just a nightmare when stuff breaks. So I really have never been a big fan of Apple. And my latest gripe has been, like, I got iTunes again because we're doing Soft Jubes. Sorry about that. So because we're doing Soft Jubes, we've got the podcast going. I wanted to do the podcast on iTunes. It made sense. Like, iTunes is a fairly well-used format. Even for people who don't use Apple, they use iTunes. And then a lot of them use iTunes a lot for just podcasts and stuff. So it made sense. Whether we become anything or not, it'd be cool to have it on iTunes, because then people that we know or someone might find it can just download it on iTunes, listen to it, whatever. I have had such a fucking problem getting it on iTunes. None of our podcasts have gone, like, we've all got them in the same channel, which is part of the problem, but that's a cost thing. We don't have money, and I'm basically paying for everything at this point. So I've had to use Libsyn for our podcast service provider thingy, whatever you want to host. There are host is Libsyn. And I've had to put both Soft Jubes podcast and Travelcast on the same show, because to open another show would cost almost double, at least, probably double, which at this point is not financially feasible. I cannot afford to keep doing that, plus the cost for the website, the cost for other stuff. So I'm putting a lot into this thing that may go nowhere, is basically what I'm getting at. Which I'm fine with. I'm very cool with the idea of at least trying. I want to try this. But the problem is when things like iTunes stop me. Because friggin' loaded up the thing off Libsyn, it comes up with some error, and apparently that's a common error now that they've upgraded their system. You have to like make sure certain settings are correct. So I went back through, first time I did it, redid the settings. I'm like, cool. put a picture up, and then it's like, oh, the picture's wrong. The picture must fit these things. I'm like, all right, cool. And so I adjusted the picture, which was the logo that's on our website. So I just made it in fucking Microsoft Paint. It's just the rectangle with the SJ lettering. I was going to use that originally. Put it in, didn't work. And I tried to get the sizing right and everything, and it just wouldn't work. And eventually I gave up. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to see what it is, like, try and do it again. So I decided to use a picture, because I figured maybe it's Microsoft Paint. The settings might be off. I don't know. I'm not big on that kind of technical stuff. So I'm kind of relying on what I can figure out while fiddling around. So, because basically the settings are like between, I think it's 1400 pixels by 1400 pixels to 3600 by 3600. Needs to be in an I think it's RGB color spectrum thing. Which I'm pretty sure everything kind of is, but you never know, maybe not. What else is there? It has to be under 500 kilobytes. And there was another setting. It must be a JPEG or a PNG. And so I made sure the things were all in that. It didn't work. What a hero. So then I tried to do it with a photo from the podcast of us sitting on the couch, which I think you'll see around. I think it's not. No, it is. It's the. If you're liked us on Facebook, which you should totally do. It's a cover thing. Although I think the cover picture on Facebook is mostly just our arms. Because I haven't gotten around to adjusting it to make sure you actually see our heads in that picture yet. I'll get around to that at some point. I just haven't got around to it yet. So yeah, and so I'm uploading these things, and the newest one, I've cut down exactly. What I realized was it was slightly not square. Apparently it has to be perfectly square for iTunes to like it for some stupid fucking reason. They don't want their system to do any effort cutting it into a square or whatever. Maybe people get pissed off when they do it. I don't know. Could be something simple like that. But yeah, it has to be perfectly square, and mine wasn't, so I'm like, cool. So I recut it in a square. So it was under 500. It was like 300 and some kilobytes. It was a square. It was a friggin' PNG file. It has to be in the color spectrum because it's a photo. Like, it's in all those settings. Still won't fucking load. It just will not fucking work. And I don't know why. And it's frustrating. And this traffic is going to be a bitch for getting there on time. And it's just... Oh, don't fucking do that. Goddamn, I hate traffic. I hate driving. It's really frustrating for me. My least favorite friggin' thing to do ever. But yeah, so it's still just not working, and that's why we haven't got iTunes for our podcast yet. Fuck. I'm in a left turn lane. Oh no, cool. No one else looks like they're turning left. Hang on, I'm just gonna grab another drink. Chick in front of me is probably pissed off. Fucking was able to turn left, and no one did. But that means if it doesn't allow a left-hand turn when the goes straight, I'm stuck behind her. So that's kind of my gripe with iTunes at the moment. It's just being a real pain about this friggin' picture. And I've had a picture uploaded before, because I'll get into this in more detail, but in a second. We've talked about it before, but on I think it's the second travel cast. Me and Chris, I don't know if that's a chick, that might be a dude. Me and Chris used to do a podcast called Ramble Reviews. We just reviewed movies and whatever, and we just talked, and it was like a podcast. But it was kind of cool, but didn't really we had fun doing it, but it was kind of, we were too strict and whatever. I'll talk about it later. But so I had that up, and that was on Libsyn as well, and it went to iTunes, and I had no problem with the picture unless they've changed their picture settings. I don't know what's going on. I'm having more trouble now than back when I knew nothing. So I don't know if maybe I'm just trying too hard with things. I don't know. I got to really look into it. And I'm also not sure whether a single pixel out on either way, not square by a single pixel will matter. Because that'd be interesting. Because it could be a pixel out. Because I don't know how accurate paint is on that stuff. But I'll keep working on it. I might be able to find a default replacement picture that should be exactly whatever. I wish you could just upload it without a picture, but apparently you can't, so that sucks, because that'd be at least a good temporary thing. It wouldn't look great, but at least it'd be up. But whatever. Anyway, I'll get working on that. Hopefully something happens soon. You'll know if you're on our Twitter or Facebook, or even like friggin' website. I'll probably mention it. There's not much point getting that name now. God damn it. Fuck. Yeah, it'll be mentioned. You'll know. The moment that happens, I'll be fucking cheering. I'll probably do a whole celebration video of freaking the video of it actually going on iTunes. Like, holy shit. Like, that'll happen.